Hi, everyone. It's me, Krylios, Team Racing Productions MC and producer. And joining me today is Anaiah Mitchell. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here. So let me kick this off with having you introduce yourself to our audience and telling them a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Hey everyone, my name is Anaiah. I am a self-portrait photographer, aka a youth photographer. I'm also a social worker, MSW, and I go by the professional brand name as the White Collar Creative.
Oh, the White Collar Creative. Talk to me a little bit about that name and how you came up with that idea.
Yeah, so I started taking self-portraits about a year and a half ago in 2019, right before COVID kind of took off. I am a self-portrait photographer. And I was interested in getting started in finding a hobby, something that could keep me busy during the COVID months. And I've always been interested in photography. And I realized that I have a creative side that I haven't always tapped into. And so COVID kind of made me want to get started in that. But I also, like I said, have a master's degree in social work. And so I do have professional um, avenues that I'm looking to pursue and professional goals that I try to accomplish. And so I figured what was the best way to bridge the gap between those two worlds. And I came up with the brand name, the White Collar Creative, as sort of a bridge between the professional and the creative world.
Ah, I like that. I like that. Now, let's get a little bit into the creative world. How did you start out, doing the self-portraits and what kind of themes do you usually like to explore when you come up with different ideas, for the different type of self-portraits that you produce?
Yeah, so I think my dad is a film producer. And so I
Mm.
think being a creative has kind of always been in my blood. But I didn't really tap into that avenue for myself until recently in 2019. And I would say that when I'm looking at what I want to create as far as self-portraits, I really just tap into what I would want to see as a consumer and what I've been browsing, you know, over the years and what interests me and what I like. And then I post it and I hope that other people enjoy it as well. But I really create things that I personally enjoy and what I want to see. And I like to challenge myself. And so in a lot of my work, a lot of it is stuff that I've never actually done before and just kind of trying stuff out and hoping for the best. And usually people say that they like it and that makes me feel good, but it's never really for that. It's really just to have a creative outlet for myself.
And that creative outlet is really important, especially with the professional field you're in, of course, which is social work. Let's talk a little bit about how you uh, found yourself on that career path of social work and how fulfilling is that for you in your day-to-day life?
I always say that being a social worker is a calling. And so it's not for everyone. I definitely feel like this is a profession that called me to do this work. I've always wanted to help people, even from a young age. I wanted to be a doctor, and then I realized I'm not good at math or science. And I kind of shifted gears a little bit. But social work is very fulfilling for me. I love what I do. I love working with people. I love helping people. And that's fulfilling for me in itself. And so, but I understand that social work is a big field. And so, what people consider to be social work is usually like people snatching people's babies and foster care system and that kind of thing. And while that is a small portion of social work, it's such a broad field. And like what I'm doing personally now is policy work. And it's a field that a lot of people don't correlate social work with. And so I feel very privileged to be able to do this kind of work every day and to help people in a very macro sense. And so it definitely fulfills me for sure.
I like that. I love that a lot. And so, with merging the creative with the professional. That gives that shows how people can be well balanced in life, being able to do both those things and to do them so well. If people wanted to learn more about you, keep up with what you're doing, follow you and all of that, how could they go about doing that?
So my social media handles are ANAIAHLATEHERR, ANAIAH, late like you're late for something, her with 2 R's. And I post all of my self-portraits on my Instagram. I also post the tutorials and the behind the scenes for how I came up with those self-portraits on my TikTok page, which is the same handle, ANAIAHLATEHERR. And those are my two main platforms where I share my creative endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also on Twitter, but I'm less active on that platform than the other two. And if you really are interested in like, I know a lot of people say like, how do you come up with these, how did you do this? And so my TikTok really goes into more details about behind the scenes for each photo shoot.
Ah, I see. I see. That sounds exciting and really, really interesting to get into. Anaiah, thank you so much for joining me today. Any last words you want to leave with our viewers?
Just that you should always follow your dreams, even if it feels like you don't know what you're doing. Just start a project. It doesn't have to be perfect right away, but you can get better along the way. Just make sure that you started.
Wise words, wise words. Thanks so much for joining me today. Our viewers,
Thank
please
you
make
for
sure
having
that
me.
of course, it's my pleasure. Viewers, please make sure that you follow Team Racine Productions on all forms of social media. And most of all, thank you for watching.